Squid Game Season 2 Episode 1 is by far the best episode of the season. It's a story of desperation, greed, loyalty, and patience. Desperation comes from Jihan, who is desperate to find the salesman and put an end to these games, while greed is seen in every single person who chooses the lottery ticket instead of the bread. Loyalty is then seen in the salesman who lives by the games and dies by the games. And last but not least, patience, which is seen in Jihan again after 3 years of searching, finally gets it done. Second half. The second half of the episode is where everything kicks off after the first half sets all the characters in place and steadily builds up the tension of having found the salesman after years of searching. I particularly love how we get to see two perspectives of the salesman, one of him being followed and the perspectives of the people he plays the games with. So in many ways, we're also being given the choice and shown that it is up to the person being given said choice. Yet majority of the time we see greed take control. This is evident mainly with the game involving the lottery ticket and the bread. This is a clear-cut example that when somebody has nothing to lose, they literally have everything to gain, so tend to test their luck more than those who have something to lose. This is prospect theory, and it states that losses and gains are valued differently, and thus individuals make decisions based on perceived gains instead of perceived losses. Hence why you saw most of the homeless choose the lottery ticket, because the gain was perceived to be of bigger value and would in turn be used to get whatever food was required. To emphasize the choices made, after everyone has played the games, he simply gets rid of the bread by stamping on all of it in front of them, telling them that it wasn't him who threw them, but it was actually the homeless who did. This was added to the show as choices were shown to be a major part of the season, as we saw the players literally fight for the chance to stay or leave the game. Chasing the salesman was such a tense moment to see on screen, because everything from the camera movement to the dialogue gives the sense that we cannot and shouldn't lose this guy. I love how the cinematography was done here, with the camera zooming in on the salesman as his back is turned away and then zooming out while panning to show Mr. Kim and Woo. In many ways, the camera makes us feel like a fourth cowardly character from how we are in the taxi with Mr. Kim and Woo, but watch from a distance as they get beaten by the salesman. But when Jihan arrives, the camera follows him as we take on a detective-like role, trying to piece together what happened to the two. This scene was by far one of the best the season had to offer. It gave just enough tension and also made it extremely unpredictable for any of us to guess who would die while playing the game. I also love how the acting really drives home the fact that this game is mental torture. You get to see Woo and Mr. Kim touch their chests and twitch quite a bit after hearing the gun click. The lighting in that scene was amazing, with the salesman perfectly lit with the light directly above him, while Mr. Kim and Woo are nearly silhouette. They do, however, get brighter with every close-up, and then we get to see all three edited on screen, and the salesman's close-up opens up to show that someone has met their end. Here we actually got to see the salesman narrate the story of his life, his loyalty to the games. He actually killed his father and did it effortlessly, again showing how committed he is to the games. He had multiple chances to kill Jihan, but didn't, again driving home the fact that this guy is committed and loyal to the game. I love how even when he knew it was his moment to die, he still lived up to his loyalty for the game. He actually showed joy while playing the game, never taking too long to let his thoughts gather and just taking the gun and going for it. The actor who played the salesman did such an amazing job playing a psychopath. He did such an amazing job being nonchalant but playing a game where one person dies by their own hand, which is quite interesting. Like, that was insane to see. We got to see a side to the salesman that we never had seen before, a side where he's actually not friendly. Overall, episode 1 set the pace for the rest of the season. I know everyone has opinions about the season and all that, but I'd actually like to say this season was better in terms of character development, world building, and people just need to stop expecting the same thing twice. You can't expect us to just play the same games over and over, because people would still complain. No matter what choice was going to be made, people would still complain about what would have happened. Because this season was here to show that no matter what happens, people will always choose the games as long as they're rock bottom. And that shows that Squid Games equals humanity. The story of Squid Games is humanity. Without humanity, Squid Games does not happen. Squid Game is there due to the desperation of humans, the greed of humans. So as long as greed exists, Squid Games exist. And that is something I believe season 3 will cover, and I cannot wait to see that.